Kevin Samuels always tells single women to follow his advice, or buy a dog and die alone. And some did listen. It might have taken them 6 months to start following his advice. But they report back to him that because of it, their relationships improved. However, this is not a Kevin Samuels video. I just always wanted to add to his statement. Plus, this is a follow-up to my last video.
Can you please give her back her favorite ball, Phil Cartel? That is really her favorite ball. What the fuck? What the fuck? Hey! Cut that shit out! What the hell wrong with y'all? Go to bed. Everybody, go to bed right now. Go to bed. Good night. Everybody go to bed. Y'all done lost y'all damn mind. Go to bed! The hell wrong? I didn't raise y'all like that. Go get your ass in the bed. Go.
I am out here in the forest, alone, walking my aunt's dog, so I think this location is appropriate for this video. I am a little older than what he was, and I have seen a lot. Yes. He is right. Some women over 30 buy a dog for companionship, but most of them buy a dog because of the need to be right. As Kevin Samuels points out, some women have a big need to be right. They need to be right even when they know they are wrong. This and supporting the sisterhood is what has destroyed their relationships, and why they are alone in their old age. But what Kevin Samuels forgot is that these women also have a big need to be admired, looked up to, and they want to be the boss or the queen bee. In order to achieve this, some have to live in a dream or fantasy world. And this is one of the reasons why these women disliked him so much. He never said anything that was truly bad. He never truly put them down. He just told it like he saw it. The unfiltered truth. He was breaking them out of their dream or fantasy world, which is what made them upset and caused them to hate him. These women buy a dog because they want to feel like they are in control. They are the boss or queen bee. Take me for example. I am walking in the forest with my dog. But this is not my dog. It is my aunt's dog. My aunt is upset that this dog listens to me and does whatever I tell it to do. However, sometimes, most of the time, my aunt has to scream at the dog to get the dog to do what she wants. This is because she has very little patience. She does not understand why this is. She sometimes would say that I turn the dog against her. I trained the dog to act this way, and a lot of other dumb shit. Then I will say that I did not train the dog. I let the dog learn on her own. At her own pace. I never train my dogs. I raised my dogs. This really makes her mad and angry. She then says that training, learning and raising are the same things. Then she will say that she is 70-something years old. And she has had dogs all of her life. Thus, she knows all about dogs. Basically implying that I am lying. I just ignored her, because if I say the following will send her over the edge. When a person says that they have been doing something all of their life, it implies that they know all about the subject or the issue. I do not care if you have 10, 20 or 100 years of experience. This does not mean that you have been doing it right for all of these years, or that there is not a better way of doing it. And given the fact that I have shown better results with this dog, it tells me that for all of your life, there is something that you have been doing that is wrong when it comes to dogs. The need to be right, the need to be the boss or the queen bee stops her from listening to me. It stops her from saying, yes, you might be right. You have shown better results. What do? When one raises a child, you are not with them every hour of the day. So most of the time, they have to figure things out on their own. You can train them on how to keep themselves safe, but you cannot train them on how to handle every situation. So certain things and situations, the child has to learn how to handle them on their own. And because these women have a need to be right, they do not listen to anyone. Not even the veterinarian. A woman I know had a small dog. And she kept feeding the dog people food, which made the dog very fat. The dog got so fat that it caused it to have difficulty peeing. The veterinarian told her to stop feeding the dog people food and put the dog on a diet. The dog died of diabetes. I have many stories like this. I see these dogs suffering. And these old ladies want a dog, but they do not want the responsibility that comes with it. After I moved in with my aunt, she got a dog. I did not want a dog because I knew I would be the one taking care of it. Dogs have to be walked, and young dogs have to be run. And none of them want to walk their dog. The point is that these women are the same way when they get old as they were when they were young. Spoiled, selfish, the need to be right, and the need to be the boss. And buying a dog gives them this. However, their attitude also causes their children to move far away from them. Because when one becomes an adult, this attitude is too hard to deal with. Plus, when these women get older, they develop a lot of health issues. They try to help each other, but it is difficult when everyone has health problems. And are all constantly going to the doctor. For example, my aunt got cancer this year, and if I were not here, there would be no way she could make it to all of her treatments. I am one of the few people in my family that is truly reliable and dependable. And the others have their own family and grandmothers to take care of. My aunt does not have Medicare as her health insurance. Medicare will pay for transportation to all doctor appointments and treatments. Instead, she has health insurance from her pension plan, which gives her $2,000 a year to cover these costs. Even if my aunt could use the Medicare transportation service, she would not use it. My friend named Barbara tried to get her mother a home worker to help her mother with cooking and cleaning. This is because her mother has gotten too old to do all of these things on her own. Her mother did not like any of them. All 5 of the women Barbara hired, her mother had problems with, so Barbara has to drive to her mother's house and do all of these things. Barbara said that this is hard on her. Because when she gets off from work, she has to drive to her mother's house and do all the cooking and cleaning. And then go home and cook and clean at her own house. These types of women act like they do not care what hardships are. I think these women probably believe that they could always find someone to help them. Or when they were young, they were strong and independent. So they never thought about, what if they could not find anyone to help? Kevin Samuels did try and warn them that this might happen. When I took my aunt to her cancer treatments, I did see a lot of older women helping other older women. And most of the older men did not need any help. Because men have more muscle mass compared to women. Most men are better equipped to care for themselves when they get old. Most women are not. Most men can go out into the forest and live on their own until the day they die. And some men have done this. Most women cannot. Yes. Sometimes, my aunt's female friends did help, which provided me a break. But because of their health problems, they could not do it all the time. And because of their health problems, they sometimes cannot drive a car. And all of their family members live 2 hours away. And many live in other states or across the country. When both my grandmothers were old, we moved then within a mile away from us. This allowed them to be on their own, and it allowed us to be close if they needed something. But not these women's families. They are just too difficult to deal with. So now the question is, when they die, who discovers the body? The person in the United States who discovers the most dead bodies is the mailman. He knows you are old, living alone, not on vacation, and not picking up your mail. After the mailman, it is the neighbors. A body starts to smell after a few days. Then the dog has to sit there for a few days to a week with a dead body before someone comes. In closing, the women you want to avoid are the ones with more than one dog. Especially the ones that have more than one male dog. These women have some deep psychological issues. The need to be right and in control of every situation drives every part of their life. Plus, as Kevin Samuels said in a few of his videos, some black women will not even smile at a black man. Instead they give us dirty looks. A new, older black woman just moved into our neighborhood, and every time I see her, she looks angry. As Kevin Samuels has also said, black women have caused much of their own trauma, and it is not our job or responsibility to fix it. And we do not have to be understanding about it, because they would never provide us with the same consideration. In regards to cat ladies, I know nothing about. My ex-girlfriend and her mother were cat people. I do not want to repeat that situation. So I just stay away from those types of women.